will share in a minute.
I want to say one thing.
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Kali Kali Mahakali Kali Ke Parameshwari. But I want to say a Sanskrit mantra that I recite all the time. Sarva Mangala Mangalye Shive Sarvartha Sadhike Sharanye Triambake Gauri Narayani Namastute.
Thank you. That's a very powerful mantra. Very, very powerful mantra. It's the goddess in all her aspects. Thank you for sharing it for her and for us. So, no, she's in you. You are her. There's no separation. You're a spiritual being in a human body. Actually, the human origin was very important that it came before this, for us to really start walking that divinity as we live here. Walk your divinity. Walk your goddess. Walk that energy within you. Thank you so much.
I love all the women in the world from wherever they come from, wherever they are, as I love myself. And that's important. Love yourself so you can love everybody else. Respect yourself so you can respect everybody else. And they can respect you also. So thank you for this. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Q&A.
I just want to keep listening to you.
It's up to you. You can come and sit with me if you like, and we can have our little Q&A. Because we promised it. And I know, Makisha, you want to go, so thank you. We'll talk. Okay, honey. Drive carefully back to Phoenix.
Bye. Have a good week. Think of us if you need us. Womb to womb.
Womb to womb, yes.
That'll be like our new motto. Womb to womb. Oh, of course, right.
Oh, okay.
So much for us.
So do you guys have any questions for us? We decided to do a little Q&A because we were talking about the Dakini. And actually, I would like Leela to come up too. Please, next to us. Yes, absolutely.
I felt that way too.
Yes, please. Yes, please. You know what? You're the scholar. We need you. I'm not the scholar. I know you're more of a scholar than I am.
I don't think I'm a scholar at all. And the two of you are just such a beautiful example of different dimensions of understanding.
Can you put the mic to your mouth?
I was just saying that Zeffi and Neela are such beautiful dimensions to how we can approach understanding all of this. You know, there's so many ways to come at it, and all of it matters. And so I'm just so grateful to be able to listen to both of you, all of you that have spoken here today. Is wow, so rich, so beautiful. Thank you for being that catalyst.
I just want to say, like, everybody did my work. All the speakers before me just spoke exactly what I could have done on on TV or whatever with the little thing. It didn't work. Of course, I wanted to show you a picture. I don't even know where my phone is. But it worked. And thank you for really being so prepared and so there and so sharing with the women. Like I said, I did not even choose you how you're going to go. The goddess did. And I do that all the time. So, do you have any questions to ask us? Yes.
I don't know if it's a question, I might form one as I'm talking, but I want to thank you. The progression of today was so beautiful, each one taking us a little deeper in. And this last experience of really becoming one with the womb was so profound. My womb said, what I felt was longing. longing for. And I hadn't fully embraced the sacredness of what's there and the potential that's there in that sacredness. And I haven't fully embodied it. And so by the time I was done with the conversation, there was a glow coming from within the walls of the room outward. And there was still the same quality of darkness and depth, but the light was there too. And it was, so it was just such a beautiful experience and one that I really needed to have, so thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you have questions for Neela? Shay? Do you guys feel complete?
Okay.
I want to say one thing that
Yes.
I noticed on this weekend. It was a very tumultuous time that happened to Kim more perfect, but the idea of the divine feminine and the feminine principle, one of the things that wasn't necessarily said aloud, but was so experienced was generosity. And I just felt there was such deep generosity this weekend from all the speakers, all the participants, the owners of this beautiful place, and that I feel like when we come together and we honor that divine feminine principle, that is sort of the byproduct of that. And that's a really beautiful thing that I would take out into the world and affirm in my own self as well.
Yes, because yesterday when Khalida was speaking and she said, when the daughter is born, Rahmat, actually, see, this is the thing, the scholars seem to find out these really cool things. That the girl is, so actually the word Raham comes from a Hebrew word, which is compassion of the womb, which is the most generous, giving and receiving, right? So Rahman, Al-Rahman, one of the names of Allah in Islam, comes from the compassion of the womb. But the root word is Hebrew. And it's Raham. It's this tremendous sense of profound, and that's why when the awakened being and the grounded Buddha touching the earth, right? It's called Bhumi Sparsh Mudra, touching the earth mudra. That's when the compassion actually, not theoretical, not some idea of love, but an actual compassion. It's only from the womb, that generosity, that real karuna. We call it karuna. And it's actually, karuna is a liquid form. So everything that you were talking about this, and there is an idea of sapience, it's called sap. It's like the sap of the tree. In the morning, everything that is liquefying, it liquefies like the tears that flow from your eyes. It liquefies all the hardened ego, pain, that tightness in the heart. So the karuna, the profound compassion, is foundationally generous because it's life.
Yes.
I have a question.
Yes. Who? Whatever we feel.
Everybody. It's a question about coming from sapiens. We human beings are called Homo sapiens, and that includes man. So, about this, I'm Libra, so I'm on this diversity. And I know that when we are talking about women's power, the female power, and all these things that we have done and celebrated, and like my last experience about this yoni experience was powerful, and it was all about this bliss and ananda that we talk about in Satchidanand and all this. Now in that, my question is to everybody actually, about how do we balance this male-female thing, with not just within us, but with men, the real men. That is something about in our society, like while we have made a lot of progress, and I have talked about it many times, because women woke up because they were suppressed, and therefore they had the need to wake up. And that's what we are doing so brilliantly right now, that as we have witnessed in those 2 days. But then, that still remains half of our humanity and our beingness. Because they are not excluded, and they are struggling. And I'm not really in politics here. This is about spirituality, actually.
Yes.
And that they are struggling and they need help too. So that is where we find this has to now, we have come to a fine balance right now, and then we have to go beyond that in terms of that, enveloping all sapiens.
The way to balance that is actually, Regina talked about before we were all in one body,
Yes,
and then
yes.
we're separated in Lemurian times, which has always been my vision.
Right.
And I always know that for very many thousands of years, and this lifetime also. But it's bringing, as women, bringing that right leg in. Not to struggle with the male, not to fight, not to become male. That's the only way they're going to be balanced. That's why I started with the yogini position of the leg in.
Yeah.
If a woman, she's not being repressed this way, she understands her masculine power and also her feminine is touching. So she's connected within herself. So if you let go of your struggles to prove you man something, instead of allowing him to be, or try to change them, like we all done for generations, thousands of years, because we're being repressed, then they're going to still struggle with us. We'll pull back, but knowing our power, we don't sit back. We don't become like, what's her name, the Trump's wife, that she has that face, oh my God, you're there, even if he doesn't acknowledges you, like Regina was talking, because I haven't seen the thing, acknowledge yourself in that moment.
No, that I understand. I'm now going beyond that. Now we are becoming their guides, not their...
We're not their guides.
No, but how do we extend this awareness
Like I said,
to them?
just be in your power.
Yeah, something.
Be in your power. Let me just finish. Be in your power, but don't be overpowering. That's the difference.
You know, I just want to say that my friend Kathy Jones is the one that brought the whole goddess to Glastonbury over 35 years ago from Wales. She got the call to do that, and she's the one that stood up, you know, against the abbey there and everything, and brought the feminine in, you know, today, you know, so it's visible today in the Western world. She says, she's written a lot of books, and she says, the women need to just take care of themselves. If you can find yourself, you know who you are, then the men will fall in place. They will, you know, it will help them to know who they are.
Just by being themselves.
Yeah, so we don't have to worry. We have nothing to do for them.
That's what I said. Do not overpower them. Yes, Claudia?
I want to share a story which I've never shared with anybody, and bear with me here, but I found it very profound in my life, and as we are sharing, I want to share this. I had been together with a man from India in my dating years in Germany, and one day his mother called from India and said, something dark is coming, be prepared. I do not know what it is, but be prepared. Okay. So we came from the market home, and all of a sudden this man had a different face on him, an old man's face, and he raped me, my own boyfriend. And I asked my guiding ones, what in the world do I do now? And my guiding one's answer was, love the man. So I opened myself deeply to the deepest love I've ever felt, and embraced the situation and embraced the soul of that man, the young man and the old man who came through. And I said mentally to both of them, I love you from the deepest bottom of my heart and soul. What happened that moment, the person was collapsing, rolled over, and became in the fetal position like a child. And somebody today asked about, you know, Trump, and when he was broken 5 years, when he was 5 years and he became whatever he became. But anyway, that story, this person became the child again, and he spoke into a language, Indian and then English and then German and England. I mean, it was a universal thing in the moment. And he said, now I know why all my wives left me and why my kids are all handicapped. He was somebody who out of power did black magic. And somebody had gone somewhere in some country, some village, and paid him to do some stuff. And So I asked him the name, so the mother went and found this man, and he profusely apologized for what all he did, and he never did bad magic ever again. And to me, that is a profound story, not about what happened to me, but about what happened through the power of love. And that would be my question, my answer to your question. The power of love transforms everything.
Alex Collier says a phenomenal thing, and it always resonates. And I always say to myself, even after this whole thing, the love you withhold is the pain that you carry. And I just take that in. So when you said that, it's like, oh yeah, once again, it's like, it's so true. But I was gonna say something, what you mentioned about the nectar. I never knew that. But it is pretty interesting because in human anatomy, without the nectar, then a man can ejaculate as much as he wants, but without that nectar, there's no pregnancy.
No creation.
So with the nectar brings the gods, it's the food of the gods, so within the sense, we are the gods.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Zeffi. And I might say something. Her wearing purple, nothing, and like I've been seeing purple, like all in everything of what I've been doing, and then I'm now sitting like purple. Even looking at my womb was purple, and yeah. So thank you.
My house is purple.
Oh yeah.
I just want to add to that that fluid, which is also known as amrita, is the fertile ground. So when we can call this our oasis, you know, when a man is thirsty for the homecoming, that feminine energy, they want to go back in there to drink from that oasis.
Exactly.
Wow. So Vinny, that wasn't what I was going to share. Wow. I just had a thought about all the power key words that were expressed here in this weekend, and I wrote them down.
Oh wow.
And then I made a sentence out of them. So should we do that now or at the very end?
If anybody finishes with questions, we can do it when we do maybe the gongs before we go up for our closing ceremony.
Yeah, okay.
You bring
Because I
in the
wrote
cards.
something nice about what we all, the presenters spoke.
Absolutely. We're all going to do it together as part of the ceremony. Any other questions? Where you guys feel complete and done? Okay. Do you have something to say?
No, can we not call each other guys, but call each other Gaias?
Gaias.
Let's spread it around, because I've called my friends Gaias now, not guys. They're Gaias. Yes, let's take that out of the world.
Gaias.
Gaias.
Who wanted to say something?
I just want to say something. I signed up for this class because it's my 60th year. I had no idea what I was getting into. I didn't even read the roster until the day before I came. And it's been wonderful. And I'm so glad it's so intimate because when it's 500 women and then 5,000 women, it's so nice to be at the ground floor or something.
Thank you for the vision. That's been the vision. You're taking it everywhere.
Yeah.
And you're all coming with me. I don't care. You're all coming with me. We already planning next year. And I tell you, I love this. I love this. It's small. The mind sometimes says, Zeffi, it's small, but you know what? It's going to grow, and I know it. And I'm glad you saw the vision of 5 because we're taking it everywhere.
But I will say, I once was in a master class with somebody in London, and I walked in the room, it was full of people, and I stepped back and went, oh my God, there's too many people in it. Yeah. People were too overwhelming. After 3 days, the energy of all the same time, it blew my mind, and what we all shared, the same vision. So small, big, if you're all on the same journey, all in the same thing, it doesn't matter. But my first instance was, I'm out of here. It's too many.
But I think the beginning of this is important, so.
Yeah.
Wanted to say something, Jane?
I'm not sure I have the courage to be that vulnerable, actually.
It's up to you. We're here to support you. Feel the same.
Just said
It's powerful.
what you just said, and it's selfish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes in a group like this, I feel a little out of place, and I know that I have healing around my feminine self. But in my sexual life, most of my relationships have been with women, and I've had relationships with men. I actually like it all. But I just wonder, I see myself in my future in relationship with another woman. I feel very powerfully connected to women. I can't even get started on the depth and the beauty and the wonder of a woman and my own appreciation of that. And I guess I just wondered if you might speak to how that fits with what we're talking about in the depth of sexuality and spirituality.
Did you guys ever see the movie Kama Sutra? In the path of the tantric path, women, Maki women, were actually taught by a woman how to make love. That is a memory of yours. That's your connection. Absolutely. And it doesn't matter who you choose to sleep with. For none of us, it doesn't matter. It's just when, specific in women relationships, the memory of the priestess. It's not just in the Hindu tradition. It happened for thousands and thousands of years. In the temples, women taught women. We gave our virginity to the lingam, the marble lingam, ancient times ago, even after in Atlantis. We went and gave our virginity to that when we were young, but after that we were taught by a woman. So the priestesshood, it knows the truth. So you're an ancient priestess that way. So don't ever, ever judge yourself. I'm straight, I'm gay, I'm none of that. It's a sexual preference at the moment of your life. Next lifetime, it can be something else. A minute from now, it can be something else. We can all sleep with women and we can all sleep with men, and it does not matter. There's no separation. There's no judgment. A specific a woman being a priestess, I know it. We've been called all sorts of kind of things. We've been called from prostitutes to, whatever. So don't, just be who you are.
Yeah, I've always felt like that there's this balance of those energies in this form, and I've not really understood that, because it feels like it's supposed to be like this, and it's supposed to be like this, and then these two are supposed to come together, and then it makes this other thing, and it kind of feels complete in here.
It's in your DNA. It's the memory that you're bringing out this lifetime. So we have to all accept that. I have a lot of women they're sleeping. Either I'm with other women. I don't like the word gay. I don't like that word. I prefer to say, and they'll ask me that question. They have asked me for years now the same questions. What do I do? Where is my separation? Am I supposed to sleep with a man? But you're talking about that. Even if you sleep with a woman, if you're not ready, if your yoni is not ready, it's not going to want it. So it doesn't matter. It's your yoni that it controls your sensuality and your sexuality. Who you're going to sleep with, it doesn't matter. Makes sense? It doesn't matter.
Also, it's the end result we're going for, which is love.
Absolutely.
Some people, if they don't have a male relationship, they have a little doggy or a little cat, and this is the feeling of love, and that's what's important.
Exactly.
It's not the medium or the style. It's the energy of what you're going for. So,
and it's the memory that you're bringing through from the past. This is the experience that you chose. Like I tell everybody, be careful before you sign the contract, before you come down. The small writing, because you don't know where you're going to be. You chose a body, and then you got to honor it in all the way forms possible, and everything else you signed for. So it's your experience that you decided to take on this lifetime. I can tell you, if it was in my life and that was a friend of me, I would sleep with a woman too. If it was right there and it felt correct, and my yoni said yes, and my intuition said yes, and my heart said yes, I will do it. I'm honest, you know? Why not? Why not see ourselves at all, not separation? We're all of it. So that is the key. Don't be afraid to be whatever you are and whatever your memory of that life, of your lifetime now is and what you signed for.
I want to say something. You know, I have one of my close friends, he's an intuitive and empath and that. And his past life and that, he's probably one of the most grounded. And you know what, you've been there this whole weekend, you were probably the most grounded person in this whole, you're all great. She right there, you were the most grounded person in this whole place. The duality, you embrace the duality, and having the duality and being able to ground that. Are you kidding me? Like that is like exceptional. But my friend Mitchell's the same way, and he's you know, and he knows his past life. He's been a priest, you know, and it makes sense why everybody would look up to priests back in the day, you know, and maybe why in Catholicism, why a lot of priests were gay. It wasn't because, you know, the sexuality part, it was because they had that duality, you know, and they didn't know how to express it when it became suppressed. I don't know, but the fact of that,
They have the balance. You mean they have the
that is the ultimate, that's what everybody longs to have. Am I not right? Like, isn't that the whole purpose?
We should never be afraid of who we are. That comes down to that.
Yeah.
Even Shiva turns to be a woman sometimes. He likes it. in the myths. Exactly, in the myths.
I'll just share a little something because I think it's quite funny. I used to see a Tibetan doctor on a regular basis, and I asked her one time, I said, so what's up with me? You know, I have some boy interests and big hands, deep voice, broad shoulders, all that kind of stuff. And she said that at a certain point in the womb, I was headed to be a male, and at the last, close to the end, I changed my mind, and I decided to be a woman. And I think that's truth, no truth, I don't know, but I thought it was a funny story because of the time we're in, and how important it is for women right now, and for women to be able to stand in their strength. And I'm just absolutely delighted that I did that.
In anatomy, actually, if you guys know that we all are women in a sense. When we come down, we make a choice, and that's very powerful, to either be, yes, absolutely, to become a man, or even in our bodies. The baby's like an it. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. And then you make a choice according to the soul, then it decides to come in. The soul comes in, not when you actually get, how you say, when you get in the womb, it goes in and out till like you're 9 months and you're ready to come out. Mm-hmm. So your soul was going back and forth, making a choice. How
they weren't looking and deciding that.
How the body will look like, because then it just, you know, if a lingam wanted to pop out, a lingam could pop out. But a yoni popped out, and that's awesome. So, any other questions, you guys, for any of us? Because there's a lot of knowledge everywhere, and I love that for all of us, not just the panel. No? Well, thank you all. Thank you so much. Thank you for honoring us the way you honor us.
Oh, can we give an offering?
Oh, whatever you like to. Yes,
okay, yeah.
Absolutely. Can you all hear me, or I need to talk?
No, you're
We're all
good.
doing this ceremony.
I don't need a microphone, right? You can hear my voice. I'm sorry. I want Malia to do the power word before we start the gong. Absolutely. And I want you all to resonate and feel that. There you go. And then we're going to go into the
We are
gong.
all bees in the sacred hive. Okay. So the words that I came across, I wasn't here at all of the presentations, so I'm sorry if I missed some of them as well, but here are the ones that I came across. Express, sacred, womb, grounded, compassion, power, elegance, grace, moon, Kali, balance, and power. And trying to do American style, power. Power. Not power. Anyway, so what I can, just sort of play around. It would be nice to just have a little, express the Kali moon energy in your sacred womb. Whoa. In grounded compassion to gain power, balance, elegance, and grace.
And you're absolutely correct. Because Mahavidya lies in your womb. Kali is your womb.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, so.
Okay. Whoa, we got it. See how connected we are?
If you want it, you're welcome to take a photo of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. We're gonna write it for the next Women Rising. That will be her. All right. So let's just close our eyes and let's allow the gong bath to take place for us. She's gonna do it at least for a few minutes. Just ground your feet and just feel.
you.